Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What is the deal? Surprise, mother suckers. But yeah, welcome to the No Pick Show. There's no handhold. We do it fast on emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. We're on the late night tip, creeping with the creepers. You understand me? I'm your host, Cheddar Chaz. Glad to feel y'all getting them building. But I've been doing my homework. Y'all know I'm long on ideas but short on cash. I'm long on ideas and short on cash. I got a lot of ideas. I don't know if the Pelicans can afford any of these ideas, but we shall see. So in light of what has happened recently with Jalen Brown and some of the things happening right now with Peyton Watson, Jonas being cut today. Shout out to Jonas Valanciunas, gone too soon. Clearly the Denver Nuggets are trying to avoid a significant repeater tax bill. Right now, as it currently stands, if they were to re-sign Peyton Watson to a $25 million deal, reportedly it would cost them roughly $177 million. Now, that ain't shit to a big baller motherfucker like me, but $177 million is a lot of money for a team that you don't believe is necessarily a championship contender at this juncture, even though once you get into the postseason, anything can happen. Shout out to the homie Clarence Lives. What's good with your bro? Yes, Fist of the Black Star, Peyton Watson still available, bro. Peyton Watson still available. My preference would be Ben Mathurin in that situation. I would try to go after Ben Mathurin because I believe he's nearly as talented as Peyton Watson, and he'll be cheaper in my estimation. Because I think if Peyton Watson asks for, remember, they saying he asking for north of 25 million, north. And to my understanding, north means up. So they saying 25 million and up. That don't mean 25 million is all you're asking for. That's the baseline. So that motherfucker could be asking for $30 million. And I'm like, now I don't know who's gonna give you that. But I mean, a sucker's born every minute. And I think he's a quality player, defender, you know what I'm saying, can shoot. You had a play it well in spurts, lit the Pelicans ass up multiple times. But still, it's like, bro, that's not money. Like, I don't know for an unproven player who just missed the postseason, who missed a large chunk of the regular season, like that's a lot of money. So I don't know. But restricted free agency becomes even more difficult because you have the base share of compensation to where you got to send X amount of dollars out and they got to send X amount of dollars out. It gets real clunky. That's why I think most people try to stay away from restricted free agency right now. But I do think they aren't having much success moving the Cam Johnsons, moving the Aaron Gordons. I'm sure behind the scenes they may be entertaining listening to a Jamal Murray trade just based on what just happened with Jalen Brown. It's like if Jokic twists his ankle again or Aaron Gordon misses significant time again, you're going to be right back in the same situation with a $177 million tax bill. So I think if you're the Pelicans, if the Pelicans were indeed interested in pursuing Jalen Brown, I heard different things about that. I heard that, I heard from one very good source that was cap. I heard from another source that, that was cap. It might have been cap when you heard it a couple weeks ago, but it's real now. So it all depends on what you believe. Of course, shout out to Louisiana Gal. She also mentioned that they a year ago during the season, they may have had some interest in a James Harden. So they're not opposed to big game hunting. I do think something along the lines of DeJounte Murray and Herb Jones and maybe pick compensation, maybe 2 picks would get something would pique Denver's interest. Again, Jamal Murray's coming off a phenomenal year. Like he's a hell of a player. Like Jamal Murray and Jokic, that's a real 1-2 punch. Like them dudes as a tandem are phenomenal. And I think with him getting older and Jokic's game looking like it's gonna age well, I don't know if they necessarily need to hold on to Jamal Murray for Jokic to still be successful. Certainly not individually successful, because the motherfucker probably should have won MVP 3 times. Like the dude's incredible. But since it's late, we gonna kind of speed past this and give y'all a little bit of a dime sack. One of the prospects that I have in mind for a sleeper big man is Micah Porter. Now, Micah Porter was just waived today from the Indiana Pacers so they could sign Larry Nance Jr., the guy we know. And some of us like Some of us don't, but he did a lot for the community, so he all right with me. You know what I'm saying? So Michael Porter, right now, guy spent a ton of time in his career in the G League, got called up a few times, and when he does get called up, you know, for the most part, he does his thing, you know, when given the opportunity, you know, but played. Now, here's the thing, too. He played a lot in Indiana. Now, a lot is, you know, relative, right? But he played in Indiana, so that means he comes from good coaching stock. There's some familiarity there with Troy Weaver in Detroit. You know, him and Troy Weaver has, you know, a little bit of familiarity there. Makes you wonder if Troy Weaver gonna spin the block and see what's happening on dude. Last year is what I really want to talk about. So bro played 47 games for the Pacers last year. We know the Pacers tanked, but he made the most of his opportunity. In 19 minutes, he got 9.7 points. Let's see here, one and a half assists, 5 rebounds. Wasn't really turnover happy, but that's about 1 for 1. But I don't anticipate him handling the ball too much. Shot 84% from the free throw line. And for the people who are fans of a stretch big, I don't think it's necessarily a need that you need like a stretch big. But for the people who are fans of that, bro shot 42% from beyond the arc on 3.6 attempts. 42% from beyond the arc on 3.6 attempts, and he got 5 rebounds. And that's in 19 minutes. So if you're splitting time at the center position between, let's say, him and Eve or what have you, this is another guy that can contribute on the boards and help you out with defensive rebound and help you out with 3-point shooting. He's an efficient guy, and he's good at the free throw line. Historically, pretty good at the free throw line historically. And this don't appear to be a one-off for him from with the 3-point shooting. Of course, he was always on low volume, but 57%, 42% had a bit of a mulligan right here with 31% on 2 attempts. But again, 42% last year. I think this is somebody that could be interesting. Not that he's gonna fix your center issues, but if this is a guy you could probably get for the vet men and can give you some quality minutes, because what the Pelicans are gonna need, they're gonna need guys that can outperform their contracts. Guys like Bryce McGowan, like guys like what Jose did, guys like what Najee Marshall did, guys like what Herb Jones did, guys who can come in, outperform their contracts, outperform their draft position, and contribute at a somewhat significant level for low cost. That's what the Pelicans are going to have to do because they have a lot of money dedicated to the guard position, be it Jordan Poole, be it DeJounte Murray. So I think Michael Porter would be a very interesting prospect. See, I ain't never heard of cuz. Yeah, look, bro spent a lot of time in the G League. He spent a lot of time in the G League, but check out bro film. When y'all get a chance, Fist of the Black Star Clarence, man, go check out Michael Porter film, bro. Check him out. And I know some people are going to say, well, you got Carlo. We're like, yeah, but see, this dude already a center. Carlo was probably going to be a power forward. Carlo's skinny. This dude already a center. Like, he's 6'9", 248. He's probably bigger than that now. So probably 6'9", about 250, 252. Something along those lines. Dude is a big body center pause. He can run the court. No one's saying he just great defender. I'm not saying that at all, right? That's not what the film suggests. But what I am saying is that he appears to be a solid rotational big. And it ain't going to cost you shit. Shout out to the homie Trey. What's up, Trey? I ain't seen in a minute. He said he had some solid games for Indy last year. Absolutely. Absolutely had some solid games for Indy last year. Squallow say, Michael Porter's 6'9". Yeah, he's 6'9", but he's 6'9", 250 something. You know what I'm saying? 6'9", like he's 6'9", but he's got a huge body. Pause. Like Isaiah Stewart's only about 6'8", 6'9". There's a lot of centers that aren't true 7-footers. That's why when one appears, it's like a phenomenon. Like I don't think Eve is 7 foot. I think Eve's like what 6'11". Some people say Ware is as tall as 7'2". That's what some people say. I don't know if I believe that, but I don't think he would necessarily have to be a true 7-footer. As long as he can rebound that ball, run the court, and shoot, I'm with you. Shit, I don't think Carlo's 7 foot either. Another guy that I think will be interesting as well is Charles Bassey, right? I talked about Charles Bassey a little bit last season. Another guy, look, he's 6'10", 230, you know what I'm saying? Reasonable size for a center. But for a big man, I'll say 4'5", but he rebounds like a dog. motor guy, total motor guy, low cost guy. I was kind of surprised that San Antonio let him go when they did ultimately let him go. Found a little spot in Golden State last year. Thought he would stick around in I thought he was gonna stick around in Boston because they needed a big man desperately. Because of course then they brought in Vucevic and that was a fucking disaster. But dude ended the season with Golden State, who weren't tanking by the way, but only played at 5 games, it appears. In those 5 games, 10 points, 7 boards. So straight up energy guy, into the bench guy. Maybe you could get him on the 2-way. I'm not sure if he's still eligible for a 2-way. What was that with your slimps out? Bassey? Clarence talking about Bassey or Micah. Because Micah rebounds and Bassey a beast on the boards. Now, of course, there's a reason why a couple of these guys aren't in the league, but even if you look at like Precious Achiuwa, for example, last season, he was out of the league. He was like a very, very late offseason addition by the Sacramento Kings, and that really paid off dividends. Let's go back to Michael Porter's rebounding. Yeah, so last year, Michael Potter, I keep calling him Michael Porter. Michael Potter, last year he averaged 5 rebounds, 3.7 of those being defensive. The year before that, he averaged 4.3 rebounds, 3 of those being defensive. So he's a solid rebounder for the minutes and opportunities he's given. He's not gonna, I think if he's playing 20 minutes, that means he's doing something right. Because I can't imagine him getting more than 20 minutes, truthfully. Then 20 minutes might be a lot, depending on how your other bigs are playing, of course. Doesn't really foul a lot neither. Averages, about 1.4 fouls a game. So he's not foul heavy. Might be pretty disciplined. I'm gonna do more of a deep dive and check out more of his film. Shout out to Fist of the Black Song. He said, "Did you forget we got DeAndre Jordan, the guy?" No, I didn't forget it. Look, that's why I'm looking. That's why I'm looking at some Simmons. That's why I'm looking at some Simmons right now. For real. What up, Dakari? Dakari said, "Yo, Chad, since Jonas got released by Denver, would you be okay bringing him back?" I would be. From what I read and understand, Jonas has an opportunity in Europe that he may be pursuing if he clears waivers. So if he clears waivers, I think he's going back to Europe. Because remember, when he got to Denver, he was protesting. He didn't want to play for Denver. Like, he never wanted to play for Denver. Like, he was protesting, like, no, I got a contract. I got some money waiting on me and some hoes waiting on me in Europe. Y'all keeping me here, holding me hostage. This is slavery. And he ended up playing, and he ended up doing a solid job. But I wouldn't hate bringing him back. But honestly, of course, Jonas is proven. But he only averaged like 9 and 5 last year himself. Like, Jonas didn't, that's my son. That's my firstborn. But Jonas wasn't setting the world on fire last year neither. I probably would go for a younger, hungrier motor guy. Like, he only played 13 minutes last year. And those 13 minutes, 8 and 5. Before that, 8 and 7 and 16 minutes for the Kings. Like, right now, he's doing the bad team tour. Go to Washington, to the Kings, from the Pelicans. The Pelicans in Denver were the last 2 good teams he played for, which is crazy. But I would prefer to go get a Micah Potter or a Micah or a Bassey. Either one of them I'd be happy with because either one of them I'd be happy with because they're younger. They're probably gonna be a little hungrier. Whoa, what up with you, Looney? Is it Looney or Lonnie? Because I was thinking about that today. I was like, man, he probably said it's Loney, bro. Like, I probably got the whole fucking thing wrong. Whoa, what's up with your most hated homie? What's up with your homie? Say, yeah, look, it's funny. Look, when Jonas left, he was very unhappy. He was like, bro, there's no way he was coming back. Yeah, it's Lonnie. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man, you should have been correcting me. It's Lonnie, my bad, bro. You should have been correcting me. I appreciate it. But yeah, like, they brought in, shout out to Swallow. Yeah, they brought in Marvin Bagley to replace Jonas at a cheaper cost. You know what I'm saying? Young guy, hungry guy, can defend the rim a little bit. Can rebound probably just as well as Jonas. Like, shout out to Jonas, but again, what Jonas defensive rebounding comes in is not necessarily from like deflecting shots or things of that nature, being a deterrent. It was just securing rebounds. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's something I think Marvin Bagley can do at least a relatively good level. He can stretch the court a little bit as well. So he can at least give you at least Jonas production at a significantly cheaper cost, in my opinion. But yeah, I like Michael Potter. Son, I keep saying Michael Porter. I like Michael Potter. I like Bassey personally. If I had to choose one, I probably would choose Bassey because Bassey got more time in the NBA, more time on task. But I like the coaching tree pause that Micah Porter. Oh, there's no way for me to not say it crazy. I like the history of coaching that Micah Potter has received. You're talking about Utah, then you're talking about Rick Carlisle, Indiana. I would prefer someone like that, young, cheap guy, only been in the league 5 years, don't have a ton of miles on his body, can stretch the court. They call him the double machine in the G League. Like, yeah, it's the G League, right? Hunter Dickinson is killing shit in the G League. I don't know if he's still eligible for a two-way, but if he is, they need to bring this guy in, man. Like I said before, also, he has some history with Troy Weaver, had a cup of coffee in Detroit. So for what that's worth, maybe he got some history with him also with their G League team. But I'm a fan of him and Charles Bassey potentially. You know what I'm saying? Potentially coming in. Lonnie say if Jonas clears waivers, he might be cheaper than Bolt. I would definitely wouldn't claim Jonas for 10 million, but a better deal is a thought. Yeah, you know, because only 2 million of that deal was guaranteed. So if he doesn't clear waivers, you'll be picking him up for the full $10 million hit. The reason why I think I don't know. I just really feel like he's going overseas. He might not. I think and it's funny because the last player that was picked up off waivers, if I'm not mistaken, was when Detroit picked up Paul Reed. Now I think they just absorbed that entire cap hit because I think they just had cap space to do that. But he's certainly probably going to clear them waivers. It's just going to be interesting to me to see if he decides to stay in America, because again, that dude did not want to be here. He did not want to be here. Yo, Fitz, I'm telling you, Michael Potter is all right. That dude is okay. I ain't saying he no starter. I ain't saying he cold-blooded, but I'm saying he can get up and down the court. He got bunnies. He can shoot the ball. And he's played for some excellent coaches in Carlisle. And is that Will Hardy? I always get his name mixed up. Is that Will Hardy in Utah? But he played for some good quality people. Yo, y'all in the building, do me a favor, hit the like button, man. I know it's the late night tip. You know what I'm saying? I just been, chilling today. Came across a couple of names, wanted to hop on here and holler at y'all real quick. The Dakari said, with Mosley as a head coach, do you see the Pale ceiling as a playing team is currently constructed? That's a very good question, Dakari. I do. And here's why. I can see the Pelicans getting as high as the 8th seed. If injuries go in their favor, maybe 7th seed. I don't think Dallas has gotten better, right? The Warriors got worse. They just lost Quentin Post. Jimmy's hurt. Moody's hurt. Like, they brought back KP. They got El Horford, yeah, but you looking for like an amazing Steph year. Steph is amazing, but if he has a down year or gets injured, then what? Even if they bring LeBron back, I'm just like, if they bring LeBron back, on paper, you might could argue that they're better than the Pelicans just because of Steph and LeBron, but them dudes older now. Like, they'll be fighting for a play-in spot. But I do think today the Kawhi deal ain't official yet. So if they end up moving Brandon Ingram for Peyton Watson, I probably would still say that's a lateral move, and I would say the Clippers aren't as good as the Pelicans. Kings, absolutely not. Not right now, because Levine could have a great year, Sabonis could have a great year, and Doug Christie, I think he's a terrible coach. I would say the Kings won't be as good as the Pelicans, right? And that don't really leave a lot of teams. I think Memphis, I'm gonna say probably no. And I don't think they're gonna have no incentive on winning. Utah, I think gonna be as good, if not better, than the Pelicans. That's definitely what I believe as well. Clarence say, when do you think they will pull the trigger on a bid? Because the pickings are slim right now. Well, the pickings slim via free agency, right? But for the trade market, if you notice, a ton of teams haven't, like teams that absolutely need to trade players, haven't traded anyone yet. Like, for example, Denver haven't traded anyone. The Magic hasn't traded anyone. The Cavs haven't really done any significant moves. They lost Dean Wade. They're looking for somebody to take Schroeder and Strus. They're trying to recruit LeBron. Jared Allen is like supposedly on the trade block, quote unquote. We'll see about that. But there's a lot of teams that still like absolutely need to make moves that haven't made moves. To me, the only teams that really made like major moves, probably Charlotte and Minnesota, the Lakers, Toronto, and the Clippers. I guess that's 5. And if y'all could think of somebody else that I'm not thinking, oh, and of course Boston and Philly. So that would be what, like 7 teams, maybe. A lot of teams haven't made significant moves. Like I guess Portland brought in Ja. So if you want to say Portland and Memphis, I mean, but there's a lot of teams right now that haven't made moves. Now going into summer league, when motherfuckers face to face doing some wheeling and dealing, you might see more action. I think we got a lot of the action early this offseason. But keep in mind, also, there's a lot of free agents left. Oh, yeah, Miami with the Giannis thing and shit. They've been talking about that same deal since the regular season. So there's a lot of free agents out there, dog. Like, again, like I said, Ben Manfred, Peyton, Watson. There's a couple different guys that's like Tyree Eason just got signed. LeBron's still a fucking free agent. James Harden, he waiting to see what LeBron gonna do so he can go back to the Cavs. Draymond's unrestricted. Jonas Valanciunas, I think, even though I think he's going back to Europe, that deal with Kawhi isn't official yet. The Walker Kessler deal just became official today because, you know, the Lakers was trying to figure out something to get what's dude? Kuminga. Kuminga's still a fucking free agent. A lot of shit going on, which is interesting because we getting late into the summer league. Well, we getting to summer league. The California shit just ended, so we getting to summer league, and now a lot of them front office people gonna be face to face, I'm guessing. Mawasi say Poole for KCP and Post. Says Post signs deal can be done 30 days after he signed. I'm not really a Post guy. And then Post for 10 million to me is a little obscene. I'm not sure what Memphis was thinking with that. Like for me, I'll say I'm not interested in trading expiring salary for expiring salary unless I plan on extending that player. That's why I say that, because of KCP. Like I would much rather almost let Poole just fall off the books versus trade him for like some bump salary. Like I know some of Post's contract is non-guaranteed. So but like hypothetically speaking, if I traded for KCP and Post and I just didn't like Post this season, I was like, I'm gonna let you walk. Whatever. I'm gonna try to trade you. I'm kind of like in the same spot I was in. I know a lot of people like Post though. Toro said you overlook in Memphis. They got a lot of versatile players that can take the players off the dribble. I mean, you got Ty Jerome, Gigi, Colin Coward, Boozer. That's a lot of young players, though. That's a lot of young players, and I don't think Memphis is gonna look to like win right away. But see, it's all about when you play people, though, right? Because if you play Memphis early in the season, in their mind, they're not thinking they bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? In their mind, they're not thinking they trash. They thinking that, you know, we just as good as anybody. Like they won't be humbled just yet. But so they got a lot of young talent. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do with some of those guys. Adam Hurley, he say if they want LeBron, they better not trade Murray. I don't think they got a shot at hell at getting LeBron, honestly. I just don't see it. Like, because Denver would have to be crazy, bro. Denver would have to be crazy. I don't even know why they in the conversation, truthfully. Because I mean, I guess if he's a free agent, if he willing to sign a minimum, which it doesn't seem like he has any intentions on doing, I think the only team that got a real shot after they add LeBron, it's probably the Cavs. Because the Cavs just loaded still to this day, but they still need perimeter defense. I don't think Bam, Giannis, and LeBron is an appealing team. Like that sounds like a whack team to me. Who is fit like Philly? Now Philly is another one. If Philly get them, that's gonna be some shit. Like that'd be a hell of a team. But the Warriors, to me, that's just like a side mission LeBron and Steph doing. That's like when Dwayne Wade went to the Cavs and then went to the Bulls. That's just like a side mission. Like that shit ain't about to do nothing, I don't think. Watson said, how much is the big extension be? Well, in my opinion, I think 4 years, 75 is generous and fair. Anything over 18 million, I'll be out. I'm hoping that he'll sign for 16, to be honest. I hope he'll start at 16 and like and peak at about like 19. But anything over 18 starting, I would be disappointed. I was like, oh no, that's a lot. And I like Steve. I was like, damn. Shout out the line. He said buying is key. Last season we had players that didn't want Willie here, and by the time he was gone, we were behind a lot of games. The season was uphill battle, and JB wasn't the answer for them too. Yeah, that's facts as well. Because look, again, when Willie was fired, I think the record was like 2-10. It was either 2-10 or 2-12. But he was fired like early November, like before Thanksgiving. Like y'all had a chance to do something. They had a chance to get the 36, 37 wins. Like it wasn't like insurmountable, but they just couldn't get it done. They couldn't finish the new year with more than 10 wins. Like my goal was if you end 2025 with 10 wins, that's a successful first half of the season, all things considered. But I think they ended with like 9. Total disappointed. Like just total disappointment. Adam said the Cavs won't win because their starting center is only 6'9". What? You talking about Jared Allen and Mobley? I don't know about that, Adam. They just went to the Eastern Conference Finals with Jared Allen and Mobley. I think the question with them is more so like, can Jared Allen and Mobley, really, can Mobley take the next step offensively? Because Mobley, like if you frustrated watching Zion on offense, you'd be extremely frustrated watching Mobley on offense, bro. Because Mobley can fucking hoop too on offense. He's just so passive, bro. So passive offensively. Watching him in the playoffs was extremely frustrating. It was extremely frustrating because you're like, damn, nobody can guard this dude. Like this dude is talented. Like on both sides of the ball, he's incredibly talented. But it's like you're really passive. Like you're not a dog necessarily, and it's hard to do that when you got Spider and James Harden. I admit, but he just really passive. But shit, he's always been playing behind 2 all-stars. I guess Garland was an all-star. Who's the other one? Harden's an all-star, some Spiders an all-star, but he's really passive. Yeah, Clarence, like you would get Mobley even on the court, like, and you like, bro. Now when he decides to show up, you like, damn, like, dude, I like, especially like he's an all-world defender. He catch lobs, he can hit an occasional 3, he can beat people off the dribble, get to the rack. He just, I don't know. He's a spectacular, unspectacular player. To me, he reminds me of Scotty Barnes with a bad motor. Basketball say the Kawhi trade hasn't been official yet. Yeah, I was saying that, bro. I don't know what Brandon hated. I don't know what they're going to do with the homie BI, man. Shit, they might send him back home. They might send him back to New Orleans. I don't know. But I don't know what they're going to do with BI, man. I'm sure his preference would probably be to stay in the East. You know, that's a lot of relocating and a lot of uprooting. That shit kind of tough. Man, do y'all realize Brandon literally played 1 season for the Raptors? Because when he got traded, he had the ankle injury. He's played 1 season for the Raptors. It looks like great, unless Brandon getting his affairs in order. I think he in the boot. He could be getting his affairs in order because Grady Dick was in the Clippers facility and Brandon wasn't. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Somebody say send him to Memphis with a Glorilla. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. And look, Fist of Black, shout out to Fist of Black Star. Now here's the thing: if you just got rid of Melo, do you really want Brandon in Charlotte? If you trying to like reboot and you trying to turn over the keys to the other Brandon, what's homie name? Brandon Miller. You trying to turn over the keys to Miller and them? Do you really want that Brandon there? Like, I don't know. They used to like him a long time ago. I don't know if they still like him, but it's possible. Let's see here. Shout out to Lonnie. He said, I remember games last season. Zion went to the half with 4 points. That can't happen. Bro, I remember so many games. Zion might have 2 shot attempts. And then, like, right before halftime, he'll get a quick, like, 4 or 5 shot attempts. And it'll look like he got 7. But it's like, no. If you watch the game, hell no. This is bullshit. The car, you say, do you think Zion lacks the killer instinct that you need from your star player? I would say yes. I would say yes. I would say that's one of his greatest weaknesses is that he's not a super like assertive player. That's one of his greatest weaknesses. I think even because you could be fucking like think about it like this, y'all. And shout out to the car. I look at it like this. Let's say Zion never got like a consistently good jumper. Let's say he shot it every once in a while, like a midi, like Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook is if nothing else, he is assertive 100% of the time. If nothing else, he is going 100 miles an hour at all times. Shit, to this day, he's still like that. If Zion had that type of motor, like his jumper would be a little bit irrelevant. Like not irrelevant, it would be less of a factor. Because you'd be like, yeah, but nobody can stop him though. Like, yeah, but he getting 8 rebounds, he dunking on people, he's stealing the ball, he doing this. Nobody can stop him. He can't shoot, but nobody can stop him. Like that would be the talking point if he was more assertive. But since he isn't, since he like almost voluntarily takes a back seat at times, or he acquiesces to what's going on around him a little bit too much. He's a little too quote unquote selfless. That becomes the issue, like, because then you look lazy. Whether this the game plan or not, it makes you look lazy. Like if the game plan is for Zion, like historically, the game plan used to be for Zion to leak out. Oh, people like, why Zion don't get defensive rebounds? Because the game plan is for him to leak out. That used to be the game plan. But if you leak it out and that's the game plan, and you're not getting them tosses up ahead to get you out in transition for an easy bucket, it just make it look like you're not trying to get rebounds. It make you look like you're lazy. And at the end of the day, bro, like the numbers gonna suggest what they gonna suggest. You know what I'm saying? Basketball say they can't trade him because he's the majority of the money in the Kawhi trade. I think. Yeah, they would have to. I think they would have to reroute him for because he's making $40 million. So I think they would have to reroute him and take back, if I'm not mistaken, like what, maybe 34, 35 million, something along those lines. But finding a third team that would want him in this current climate, and not because he's a bad player, he was just a fucking all-star, not that. But finding a team that will want to take on $40 million right now is going to be interesting to see. Like, because you really got to survey the league and say, yo, who needs a $40 million wing? Like, one thing I could see, I could kind of see this, but not really. If it was like Brandon to no. Yeah, all right, let's try this. Like, what if it was like Brandon to Cleveland? Jared Allen don't make enough money, I don't think. Hypothetically, let's say it was Jared Allen and Schroeder to nah, that wouldn't work. Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't even know. I'm thinking of teams that need wings like that, and Cleveland just keep popping up. Whoa, what's good with you, Dexter? What was happening? Why I say Potter is so nice? Yeah, Potter got some game, bro. Potter got some game. I'm not saying he a starter. I'm not saying that. I'm saying he looks to be a solid rotational big. I'll say that. Solid rotational big. That's to say Zion is passive. That's the problem. He's so unselfish and looks like he prefers his teammates' success over his own sometimes. Sometimes that's how it is, bro. That's not really And look, I understand sometimes people can't help how they wired mentally, but you need Mosley or somebody to break him out of that for real. Spencer Blackstar says Miles' contract not bad. A lineup of DeJounte, Zion, Trey Queen, and Turner should be okay. Plus, the bench will be good. What's the issue with Miles? Let's say if you did like this contract, hypothetically, the issue with Miles is that Miles don't rebound. That's the real issue with Miles Turner, is that it's like, well, you only get like 5 rebounds a game. Now I gotta get a center, or now I gotta get somebody that rebound. And that's always been a problem with Miles. It's like he could block shots here and there, but those just tend to lead to more just offensive rebounds for the opposing team. He just don't rebound. That's why, to me, I don't care if my center don't block shots. If he can rebound like Jonas, I'm cool with that, to be honest. Like, but I know some people do like Miles. Lonnie said they gave if they have to guard Zion 99 from the free throw line, is open floor. They knew Zion was going to the goal 99% of the time. Facts. He tried to incorporate the float every once in a while, but not enough. Like, if Zion could incorporate at least 4 middies, 2 threes into his game, like Zion averaged, his career averaged about 16 shots, if I'm not mistaken. An additional 4 middies and maybe 2 threes, that's additional 6 shots. That's 22 shots right there. You know what I'm saying? That's more opportunity for more buckets. And Zion is a solid shooter. Like, he's not a bad shooter whatsoever. It's just about doing, making yourself uncomfortable, I would say. Hoops are fun. What's happening, homie? He said you saw all the lottery picks besides first team, all rookie playing in the summer league except ours. Kyle was the only first team playing too. Man, y'all want to know what I think? I'm gonna say this without saying, well, fuck, I might as well just say it, because I don't. What's the point of me hiding it? Fuck. Shout out to everybody in the building. Also, make sure y'all hit that like button, bro. I don't know if Derek Queen in basketball shape yet. Based on a couple pictures I saw, I don't know if he's ready to play basketball just yet. He got injured last summer league. Maybe they don't want to risk it. But that's my thought. And he did play a lot of games last year. He did. But I don't know if he's in basketball shape yet. And maybe that's part of the reason why he's not playing, along for whatever the offseason plan and regimen is for him. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna just say that. That's all I'll say. Basketball say, I heard they want Peyton Watson and Kawhi deal, and Ingram was staying with the Clippers. I don't know how the fuck they gonna get Peyton Watson, especially if he's looking for north of $25 million. I need to know exactly what that means. Is it 26 million, 27 million? But it'll be interesting to see what happens with him. I think Denver should just bite the bullet, bring him back, and go through the season trying to trim salary. Well, what's happening with your Dark Knight? Because when you owe that much money, you're not getting out the tax unless you just about to give motherfuckers away. Like, you're not getting out the tax. That's not gonna happen. Like, as a second apron team, you got restrictions. You can't aggregate salary and things of that nature. But you're not getting out the tax. So your goal, in my opinion, has to be to trim the fat. Like, for example, them cutting Jonas, that shit probably saved them like $20 million or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And real money. So if you get this trim 5 million here, 10 million there, you get that 177 tax bill down to maybe 120, something like that, 110. Like, that's probably manageable, because ain't no way you about to move Christian Bond, Cam Johnson, and Aaron Gordon. It ain't no way you gonna move all them dudes. Like, even if you don't bring Peyton Watson back, that's like, okay, whatever, because you can realistically, you only looking to trade that contract into a team with cap space. You're not looking to get no player back for Peyton Watson. Maybe you get a pick, but you really can't take back no salary, because if you was gonna take back salary, you might as well sign Peyton Watson. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Like, y'all get what I'm saying? So only a couple teams got space. I think the Clippers kind of got a little bit of space. Like, they might have just enough space to do it. And the Nets, I think the Nets still got space. So I don't know if Michael Porter Jr. is still recruiting Peyton Watson or what have you. But Honestly, if I'm Denver, I just bring them back and I just try to go through the whole season trimming the fat here and there. 2 million, 4 million, 5 million here. Find some attach a pick to get rid of Zeke Naji contract finally. See who want Cam Johnson. See if I can move Cam Johnson for if Cam Johnson make 20 million. See if I can move that boy and get back 17 million, save 3 million right there. Because another thing with Denver, and it's not a Denver show, but another thing with Denver is they got to fill up the rest of that roster. Because they ain't got a ton of motherfuckers on the roster. Shout out to Dog Knight, like he just said, they just cut JV. I wouldn't be mad if they brought him back. You know, I do think Jonas want to go to Europe, though, Dark Knight. Because, you know, if you remember, like last offseason, he didn't want to go to Denver. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Squallow, it's really just the Clippers and the Nets. So what I would do if I was them, and what do I know is, you know, I'm about to tell y'all my financial business, but I ain't no billionaire. So I'm a millionaire giving advice to a billionaire here. So take what I say with a grain of salt. But what I would do is just bite the bullet. Like just bite the bullet, bring them back, right? And go into the season trying to do uneven trades and trim the fat. Plenty of teams that would take Cam Johnson for a motherfucker making like Cam. If Cam is making 20, there's plenty of teams that would take Cam making 20 for somebody making 16, 17 million. Let's just say 17, making 17 million out. Like there's plenty of teams that would do things like that. Like, or there's plenty of teams to where, let's say Aaron Gordon is making, hypothetically speaking, let's say he's making 30. I'm just throwing numbers out here. That's teams that would give you two guys making 13. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, there's teams that would aggregate salary and send you two players for one. It's just about, do you want to attach assets to do it? And or are you willing to take a loss doing that? Because I think some teams, like, I might as well keep them. If I'm a trade Cam and I can't get a second or a first, I can't get nothing back, I might as well keep them. Like, all right, well, go ahead with your bad ass and pay that money. Go ahead. Shout out to Dakar. He said, how many years does Zion have left on this contract? Would you give him an extension if he's eligible? He's eligible for an extension this year. In fact, he's eligible for extension in about a week or so. So if they don't extend him, that's going to be interesting. If I think Duffy, shout out to Bill Duffy and Zion have all the incentive in the world to extend right now because Zion has 2 years left on his contract, including this upcoming season. Next season is non-guaranteed as well, unless he meets the benchmarks, if I'm not mistaken. So if you Zion, you better get that extension now, because God forbid something happened and they could just cut you next year. You better get that money now. The question is, yeah, July 15th, it's coming. It's gonna be here soon. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. A lot of people extension coming up right now. What's my dog? Dylan Brooks extension coming up. Of course, we already spoke about Sadiq Bey. A couple other guys' extensions coming up pretty soon. I think Wemby extension, he's becoming extension eligible as well. Yo, shout out to everybody building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Send y'all questions in if y'all got any questions for sure, man. Squallow said, gosh, guys say Zion is going to be a 3-level score. He better. Shout out to the homie Chris too, man. Chris. Y'all saw Zion's performance coach. He's spitting some good games today talking about Zion, but he's working with Zion. And like, look, bro, shoot the fucking ball, bro. Everybody know you can shoot. You doing all this, you know what I'm saying? Why you not shooting the ball? Shoot the ball, bro. Sometimes you need a person that's in your circle. You can talk, who can talk real to you. You know what I'm saying? And I do think he trusts Chris and his leadership and his ability to talk real to him. Basketball 98641 says, what has Trey accomplished to get talked about how he's talked about? I think it's the appeal. Like, what's an example? Like, because you got to think, Trey is a 6'10", highly efficient three-point shooter on a great contract, averaging 20 points. And the thing is, when you're a Pelican, people just assume, oh, it's the Pelicans. Like, it's not you. You don't have any flaws. It's the Pelicans. Like, people tend to give you some grace with that. And look, for all Trey's flaws in things, and I don't think he has many. I just think defensively and defensive rebound, and those are his two flaws. He's still a hell of a player. That's pretty much it. He's a hell of a player on a cost control contract. He's relatively young. Shoots the best shot in basketball right now, which would be the three, and he finishes at the rim relatively well also. But that's pretty much what it is. It's not like, of course, he don't have any all-star accolades, all defense accolades, and nothing like that. I think he kind of tops out, in my opinion, as like a fringe all-star guy, but he's just a very quality player, in my opinion. I would put him in the tier of an OG Anunoby right now. Now, OG Anunoby initially was a hell of a defender too, but I would put them in that same like tier of player. Like I think they're all like their third best player, fourth best player. If the number one player is incredible, maybe they can be your second best player. But I still put them like in that 3-4 type tier. Line and say I watched that interview again last night. Yo, bro, I'm telling you, Chris was dropping some jewels, bro. I had a long conversation with Chris before the show. Well, during the show and after the show. That's a good guy, man. That's a good guy. He was dropping a lot of jewels, bro. He was dropping a lot of jewels, dog. And look, I'm going to have to, because it's a long interview, what I'm going to have to do, bro, I'm going to have to chop that interview up and release it in clips. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I know we're on a late night tip. I'm going to wrap the show up soon. It's 50 people in here, man. Let's all hit that like button. Shout out to everybody in the building. And hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and the bell notification. Like, I'm going to have to chop that video up because he said a lot about how this organization was ran prior to Joe and them coming here. Because remember, Joe pretty much just came here with his suitcase, Troy Weaver, and like 2-3 other people. Throughout the season, man, like this dude is working. Well, what's up with you, Zeke? What's happening, homie? He said, I got something to iron my work. Yeah, work clothes. But homie, I put my shit in the dryer, Zeke. I ain't gonna lie to you. Dog Night. Oh, it was the interview I did with Zion's performance coach, Chris Crisp. Dark Knight. That's the one I did. It's on this channel. But yeah, like they wouldn't let bro in the building. Like bro is working with Zion Williamson, the marquee player on the team, and they wouldn't let him like really in the building. He wasn't getting the support necessarily from the medical staff. Man, bro said some shit I can't even like. I ain't never gonna betray nobody trust, but bro was telling me shit I couldn't even believe. I'm like, are you fucking serious, bro? I'm not talking about the shit y'all saw. I'm talking about conversations we had. Like, y'all wouldn't believe some of the shit. I would never betray bro's trust, but still, like, it was like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Like, it's bad. It's bad. Well, maybe it's not that bad no more, but it was bad. It was bad. Like, I'm telling y'all, son, seriously. That's it. Okay, that interview was fire. I watched it. Great. Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate it, Dog Night. I appreciate it, bro. I'm gonna try if I can. I might try to get Chris back on before the season starts if I can. Yeah, boy, that medical staff was bad. They made another medical hire today. I know. I think Schmidt broke the news. They hired another medical person today. So they got a couple of analytics people in the building. They pretty much revamped their entire medical staff for the most part. Probably not a ton of carryover still there, but it was bad. It was bad. Yeah, bro. Lonnie, he had to track Zion's movements with a fucking notepad. A notepad. Like, what is we shooting a basketball in a fucking peach tree in Springfield, Ohio, or something? Like, it's 2026, bro. A notepad. I can't get like the medicals. Like, this is the guy working. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm not asking for his fucking blood work. I'm asking for like regular like medicals, like imaging. Like, what are we doing here? Man, these people crazy, dog. Big Ike, what happened with your homie? He say, what's your honest opinion on what direction you think the Pels should run it back or build around Fizz and Queen, and why? Okay, that's a good question. I don't think they should run it back personally. Like, personally, I would like to move on from DeJounte and Herb because I want to free up money for next year to be a team that can absorb salary and bring in players, kind of like what you saw the Nets do with Julius Randle, what Chicago did with Nick Claxton, what Minnesota ultimately did with LaMelo, because opportunities like that going to be around every season. It's just about having yourself in the right cap position to do that. Now, the Pelicans, as it currently stands, going into next offseason, even if they extend Sadiq Bey for about 18 million, they'll have luxury tax space the way they could do shit, but they don't have a cap space. So by them having that luxury tax space, they can do like trades and take back more money than they send out. Like if you trade hypothetically, Herb hypothetically for like 20 million, you might could take back like you take back like 23, 24 million, something like that. You can take back more money than you send out and not have to worry about the tax penalty. As far as building around Queen and Fears, I'll say this. I don't think you build around small guards. I can't think of a team in recent history that did that and has been successful. Like even if Fizz was incredible, I don't think I would do that just yet. I think I would look for a larger wing player, and I might build around them as a unit. With Derek, my opinion is a little different than I think probably the consensus. My opinion is more so like, I don't know if I view Derek as a foundational player that I would build around or a cornerstone. I view Derek as like, oh, he's a cool player. Like, it's a cool player to have on your team. Like, I don't see him as the guy like you build around, because I can't think of the last, unless, you're talking maybe Paolo or somebody like that, Franz and Paolo, but I don't really know no power forwards around in the NBA right now. Teams are building around. Somebody throw some power forwards out there that teams are building around. Maybe Giannis, maybe, or have built around. Maybe Giannis, but Derek Queen, not Giannis. Like, you know what I'm saying? And fuck, nobody's Giannis. Bam Adebayo, Boozer. You talking about Cam Boozer? Well, Boozer, he just got drafted, and they not really building around him yet because you already had Coward. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just personally, I don't think they got to run it back, but I don't think they got to tear it down neither. I just think you got to move off of the pieces that no longer work and no longer serve you. So if you can just kind of trim the fat, then I think you'd be good. That's to say, so what DeJounte said was probably true. He said he couldn't even get table time. That's negligence by the organization. No, DeJounte was lying. DeJounte was lying. At best, look, this is something I have like knowledge of. At best, he was misrepresenting something, or he might have misspoke. But DeJounte was lying. He was lying. That wasn't the issue. DeJounte was lying. I'll say that he was lying, and yeah, he was lying. Like, I don't know what the fuck DeJounte was talking about. Like, DeJounte was tripping. Like, well, even like the one situation I heard about that I could see if he was referencing that, even that didn't make no sense. It was like, what? No, let me tell y'all this. I don't know how it is now, but they got coaches, like teams got coaches on standby. They got coaches on standby. What? It's 2 a.m. You want to put some work in? Bet. Like, I'm here. Like, that's how they got. Every team has like coaches like that in the building. So for you talking about, you can't get no, because table time, that's not like a doctor necessarily. That's like probably like a physical therapist or something. So that's like, what? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You've been going most of the time. How could you get table time? Like, I don't know, bro. That dude, I don't know. I think bro was lying. I ain't gonna hold you, son. I think bro was lying. Shout out Dog Knight. He said, I'm hoping that the purge Joe did helps get the team to a new level. I know everyone was criticizing Joe, but it may have been needed, especially after hearing what my man was saying. Oh yeah, bro. And I'm telling you, Dog Knight, man, that ain't even all of it, dog. Like, I ain't even talking about Chris. I'm talking about just generally with everybody who covered the team. Man, there's so much shit that going behind the scenes, bro. That's like, damn, how this building still standing? Like, how? Like, I see why motherfuckers want to leave here. This is the third. Like, if you've been somewhere nice and you come to the Pelicans, you're like, what the fuck? Like, man, Duke, like them dudes be going to work out at Duke and shit. Some of the players, man, them facilities so far ahead of what the Pelicans got, dog. I'm talking, it's night and day, dog. Like, it's night and day. And it ain't all Gale fault. It ain't all Tom fault. It's just like, Well, to be real, New Orleans of course, we got basketball fans, but the investment has always been in the football team because it's Southeast Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? This is not California. This is not New York. You know what I'm saying? This is Southeast Louisiana. So they like, we don't really know what it is to build a basketball thing. That's why Joe Dumars is here, to help kind of build out the organization, do some things with the state to help just kind of push the organization along and in a more up-to-date, modern, respectable direction. Because to be real, Gail just inherited a basketball team, bro. And all the people that was in her brain trust are football people. Football people tend to be low maintenance. They play once a week. They play once a week, practice during the week, but they play once a week. 18 games a year now? Basketball almost never fucking ends. Fuck. Look, the finals just happened. We forgot about the Knicks already. The finals just happened. We forgot all about the Knicks. All right, whatever, bam. New season. Philly the favorites. Summer League is here. Before that, it's the California Invitational. It's draft. A fucking combine. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy. If you behind the curve, it's gonna be hard to catch up sometimes. You say you think Dog Knight, you think DQ Amanu type player. I can see that, like a Super 6 man for sure. Dakari say, man, stuff like that explains what organizations in the position is in. Yeah, bro, they inherited a bad situation. Say how Dumas even fired Pelican security. Their approach seems surgical. No, it's funny. Nah, yeah, I don't say nothing about that. But Squallow, good call. I'll say that, Squallow, good call. I heard something funny about that. Squallow, good call, though. Wasaze, what if next year we can get Sabonis, DeJounte Bay, Murphy, Zion, Sabonis, Queens, Fizz, Herb? They wouldn't be able to get enough salary to do it next year, Wasai. I think Sabonis made close to 46 next year, if I'm not mistaken. So one of DeJounte or Herb would have to go out for a Sabonis trade, if I'm not mistaken, Wasai. But I like Sabonis, me. Trey say, you wouldn't build around DQ. I still think they need a scoring wing to build around today's league. Yeah, that's my position as well. You need a dominant 6'4" and above wing if you really talking about building around one individual player, or it got to be like a 7-footer, like Wemby. You know what I'm saying? Wemby, Joker, Giannis not 7 foot, but you might as well fucking be. It got to be like a freak of nature athlete or something. But because if you look even like small guards, I think Donovan Mitchell is amazing. I think Jalen Brunson is amazing. They got so much talent on them teams. Cat, before the last couple games, Cat was probably going to be Finals MVP. They got so much fucking talent on that roster, and it's hard. It's hard to build around them guys. Even Franz, for example, Franz and Paolo. Those are two prototypical type of players you would build around, especially if they shot and made threes. But those are two prototypical type bigs you build around. Well, players in 2026, big motherfuckers. And that's why every year now, everybody got a chance to win a ring, because no one's just dominating the league right now, especially not in the postseason. Every year, every team got a chance. That's why I don't really see the point in blowing it up, to be honest, because it's you're going to blow it up and do what? You got almost as much of a chance as any other team starting over right now. If you look at the entire roster, top to bottom, it's hard to say the Pacers are man for man better than the Pelicans. It's hard to say that every man for man, head and shoulders better. You basing it on the last time you saw Halliburton and the last time you saw Siakam, and they got Zubac. But you think Obi Toppin better than Sadiq Bey? You think Naismith and Nembhard better than Trey DeJounte? Maybe they are. Fuck. But I'm just saying, the Pelicans got a lot of talent. Niggas just always hurt. They always hurt. The coaching staff was awful, and you just can't really rebound at a high level. You can't shoot threes at a high level. But I think if they can correct at least one of those, if they can get the defensive rebounding down, they'll win more games than not, in my opinion, if healthy. And I think the West ain't easy. It's getting easier because most people are starting to go. Well, not most. A lot of people are going to the East. So, like, I think it's getting easier. Like Anthony Davis gone. LeBron might be gone. Kawhi is gone. You know what I'm saying? Like all these dudes going to the East now. So, like, it's probably safe to be in the West right now, or safer to be in the West. DeJounte speaks for the fourth time. Oh yeah, DeJounte, zero accountability. Zero accountability when it comes to things that went wrong with the team, like why he's traded. And on the court, he'll take accountability. Like, yeah, that was my bad. I gotta play better. I need to execute. But when it's like, why you got traded? They was hating on me. All right. Why you got traded again? They was hating on me again. Motherfuckers. All right. Why you want to get traded now? They hating on me still. Like, nigga, goddamn. Like, what the fuck? Like, all right, whatever. Now, you know what I'm saying? But, man, shout out to everybody in the building. Say, would you compare Queen to Carlos Boozer? I have to go back and watch more Carlos Boozer because my memory of Carlos Boozer is more so when he was with Darren Williams in Utah. I don't know if I see that. To me, and this, I know people don't agree with this. I think Derek Queen has the offensive game of a Kyle Anderson. And I can see him potentially being a Boris Diaw, unless he just changes the way he plays and he becomes like Naz Reid. I don't see him being like this big back to the basket guy. I don't think his legs are big enough to be like a back to the basket guy. And he's already, but he's gonna be 22 by the time the season starts. Well, it's a birthday in October, December. He's gonna be 22 this basketball season. So I don't know. Let's see. The Kari say, who do you think has been the Hornets Pelicans best head coach in your opinion? It's hard to argue against Byron Scott. I mean, because he had Chris Paul. It's hard to argue against him. I don't know if we ever had like a really good coach. I think credential wise, Stan Van Gundy probably had the most credentials. Elvin had some credentials as an assistant. Fan, he took a team to the finals. Byron Scott took a team to the finals twice. Then he was with Chris Paul. I'm gonna probably say Byron Scott. Numbers support Byron Scott. Say slow mo's a good comment. That's what I see, bro. Like again, every time I talk to Elvin, I'm like, man, let me go check out DQ film again. And that's the player I see, bro. Like seriously, I see Kyle Anderson on offense. And again, Kyle Anderson's a fine player. It's just that's not a foundational piece necessarily. But who knows? Maybe he takes a crazy leap and things change. But shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I'm a dip. I want to just come holler at y'all, give y'all a quick up, man. I will catch y'all on the flip side. I think summer league starts today, right? So we'll probably do. I don't even know if I'm gonna do no post game. Because what I'm gonna talk about? Who I'm gonna talk about? I can talk about Pierre. I can talk about Buffkin. But if anything anything interesting happens, we'll talk about it. All right, y'all. But y'all be safe. Have a good night, man. And I appreciate all y'all support, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification. I'm out. Peace.